The top 10 Xbox Game Pass multiplayer games when you're looking for something competitive, fun, or crazy to play with other people. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So first up, we have Halo the Master Chief Collection. I can't think of a better game or a really better staple of the Xbox platform than, well, Halo. You get all of the Halo games combined together so that you can enjoy just a wealth of something over 100 multiplayer maps from every generation of Halo. You've got co-op play, so you can play the campaigns together. You've got firefight, so you can work together against the AI, and just a wealth of other options, including custom games, so you can have custom matches with others, custom servers with others. The scope and the depth of the Halo Master Chief Collection just really is quite endless when it comes to experiencing gameplay with others in a competitive, casual, or cooperative sense. It really just has a ton of content and something for everyone, I suppose you would say. Just like with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. This is the second Modern Warfare 3, in case you were confused for whatever reason. We have the full year of content at the current point in time, so you have all the different seasons of content, all the different maps, all of the different hoppers and playlists and styles. Everything is present here, a wide range of operators and content and other things to enjoy, but just a really matured Call of Duty experience in terms of the guns, weapons, and meta elements of the gameplay experience. It looks good, runs well, and allows you to enjoy basically all kinds of different game modes alone against others online or with a bunch of pals, whether you're doing competitive play or something a little bit more casual like, say, Infected. They've got a little bit of something for everyone, Call of Duty wise, I would say, with this particular entry in the series, and it's just very well set up, adjusted, updated, and ready to go for Game Pass. And it's amazing that Call of Duty is actually in Game Pass. It's something I never thought we would finally see. Here is Dead by Daylight. This is a great asymmetrical horror experience with a wealth and never-ending expansion of characters to play as. So this is a game where all of the different horror IP comes together as you attempt to either survive as a group of, well, 4 survivors against a killer, or you play as that killer and you go after those survivors. You got all kinds of different IP melding in here, from classic films to very well loved franchises from gaming, such as with Resident Evil, as you're seeing right here, which is really rather exciting. So they do different plays on the game modes, but largely you are going around trying to fix these generators as the survivors, and then attempting to escape outside of the map in order to win, as to say. But you never really win, do you? And then as the killer, you're going around trying to prevent these survivors from fixing the generators. Pretty simple concept, works well, and offers lots of replay value, just like the endless replay of Sea of Thieves, the ultimate cooperative experience where you are working with a group of pals. You could go by yourself, but it's a little weird, but you can do that. And then, yeah, you're sort of going out and sailing the 7 seas. You'll be doing interactions that are largely like PvE, where you're working together against like AI to gather treasure or kill skeletons or take out targets or do all kinds of weird missions. But there's also an element of danger too, where you can optionally fight with others along the way. So you might be sailing and then you'll fight this other group that's also on a boat, and you get these intense action sequences where you're blasting each other, and then who knows, maybe something crazy might pop up like the Kraken or something like that, and you'll be shocked, and just a little surprise the whole way through, as there's always some kind of weird, crazy adventure thing going on in Sea of Thieves when it comes to living the ultimate pirate life and simulation. A wild, great multiplayer time. Just like with Diablo 4, which is a mix, again, of something that focuses on cooperative play, playing it by yourself if you'd like to, of course, and then also integrations of PvP content or just large-scale multiplayer interactions. They've taken the formations and the design of the world of Diablo, and they've just sort of expanded it into this massive continent of land, where you're able to go through all these other sections and places, and you'll be doing your traditional narrative, your campaign, or you'll be doing all of the seasonal grinds, but they've basically integrated multiplayer into every aspect of this experience, and it's really quite wonderful. Come together from massive boss fights, work with smaller groups as you attempt to take out different creatures, work through the story stuff, or do other things, whatever you want, whatever activities might be popping up at the current point in time, but Diablo 4 is a masterful, large-scale multiplayer experience. It nails the design and scope of it well. Just like with Chivalry 2, which was a really well, long-supported multiplayer experience. They did a wondrous job with this one in terms of post-launch content. It's brutal, it's violent, it's gory, it's filled with gripping combat that actually has a lot of scale and depth to it. A weird array of weapons that you can attack and fight people with everything from, say, a javelin to basically a piece of bread, like a loaf of bread. There's even an achievement for it. But yeah, it's just this really intense, large-scale, I basically compare it to being like Battlefield, but with knights gameplay. So you do like objective-based things, but there's also like death matches, and there's quite an array of content to this one. And you can like ride on creatures, horses. But yeah, it's just kind of wild. There's different knight classes. It's all very well designed. It's a great-looking game, and it is a ton of fun to play and yell at. Here is Gears 5. I feel like we always have to have a Gears of War game in with multiplayer offerings. It may be quite aged at this point, but there is a wealth of multiplayer maps and things to enjoy when you're playing Gears 5. It's very well polished and upgraded for the current era of, well, basically the technology for gaming, at least on the Xbox side of things. It's brutal, it's gory, it's graphic and intense, and it's just a very well designed combative experience, whether you are doing the competitive multiplayer across the different game modes, which you still see lots of people in, or if you're working together in horde mode against the waves of enemies, so doing the PvE side of things as well. And then of course you can play cooperatively in the campaign with a buddy, or a buddy in the floating kind of robot thing. You really do it your way, and Gears 5 really is just kind of a complete Gears of War experience as we wait for the E-Day to come down the road, which should be exciting. I also love to give a shout out to Insurgency Sandstorm. If you like Call of Duty but you want something more tactical, more intense, more mature, the Insurgency series, particularly Sandstorm here on the console, is very, very good at offering that sort of thing. This game has also received numerous content updates, new maps, and ways to play, a variety of different objective-focused combat scenarios for you to battle in. A single bullet or two will literally take you out, and you have to make strategic choices as you work cooperatively with your team in order to eliminate the opposing forces or to get various objectives done. For example, an observer and a commander may work together to call in like kill streaks and whatnot, or, well, I guess you would say support things, such as choppers, and it's just one element of the overall scope of working together and battling against foes that Insurgency delivers. It's just a very different sort of game, but it's one that is a lot of fun and very tactical to play and enjoy. Just like the improvements to Fallout 76. This is a game that we might not have included in previous years, but I will say that they have done many great updates and improvements to this package. The game has continued to get larger and larger in terms of scale and what you can do. They've got these cool expeditions, they've got lots of new exciting story content to the game that they've added. There's actual narrative missions where you talk with NPCs, and lots of NPCs you can meet. You can play alone, basically, with other players kind of out there in the world, or you can just connect and play with others as you squad up in order to complete objectives and challenges and do missions, and interact with things as you build up like your little tiny camp settlement area, and also see what others have built and made too. It's a game that continues to get updated with new content and exciting ways to play, and I think they've done a great job improving this. I am always a little rough for ammo, but it's a great time and really worth checking out now. Just like the checking out of The Elder Scrolls Online. So this game gets a big expansion every single year with lots of other smaller expansions along the way. There's always a wealth of new content and things to enjoy with The Elder Scrolls Online. The experience never ends. It's fun to play alone with the open world and running into other people, or connecting with others to cooperatively work through things, delves, everything like that. Big, huge battles you can do as well if you'd like to do PvP. The Elder Scrolls Online is a matured, well set up MMORPG that just keeps getting larger and larger, takes that sort of Skyrim style and applies it to a larger scope design that has really become its own thing that people just love and it just seems like something that will continue to get support for many years down the road, so a very easy inclusion for me on this listing. So there you go, 10 great multiplayer experiences to enjoy through Xbox Game Pass. I hope you enjoyed and found something new to play. Be sure to like the video, and subscribing is great as well.